Welcome back to Kamen Rider Review, episode number 81. Discussing episodes 12 and 13. This actually is the second two-parter. You could think that, wait, what about the first two episodes? Are they kind of a two-parter? Yes, they are, except this one, yeah, those two are kind of you can say that basically episodes 3 through 11 are basically all standalone episodes because basically the plot is resolved by the end of the episode. It's only the second ever two-parter of this entire series. In this two-parter, we started out with basically this. Well, we start with this kid. Yeah, I think it was this kid, where he had. Well, he's like walking to a supermarket, and he steals. And he just takes a fish, puts it in his coat, and just basically does some shoplifting. Yeah, and then we have this guy who just came to town, wants to punish the kid for stealing, the old-fashioned way. Well, I don't know if it involved cutting off his hands. I have heard that basically that was the punishment for stealing. Get your hands chopped off, which, not exactly a good idea of punishment. Yeah, how are you supposed to do stuff without your frickin' hands? How are you supposed to get dressed and stuff like that? Yeah, that's not a good punishment. To lose both your hands just because you stole something. And how are you supposed to basically, I don't know, eat food or whatever? Yeah, that's not a good idea of punishment. Losing both hands for stealing something. Yes, I have heard that was a punishment. Nowadays, basically, people go to jail don't get their hands chopped off. It's a really stupid idea for punishment. Whoever thought of the idea was a complete idiot. He just wants to punish him. Of course, he's stopped. Then, not long afterwards, we have these 5 random punks show up, causing to rough. And, of course, then by the way, this guy turns out he's actually a karate instructor, where he is given dojo later on in the episode. He beats the punks to the point where, actually, the first guy he beat up basically was like a thief. He basically beat him, and the guy died. Yeah, he freaking died. And then we had the kids stealing stuff and the punks, and until they stop, and eventually he does. And it turns out this instructor is actually a monster that works for Dogma. Yep. His monster from the one seen initially turns out at the end of the first part of this two-part that is not his true form. That is a temporary form. So, and apparently the plan for this one is to have him become the chief, the chief of Dogma's secret police, and he's already set up his dojo, training people, and of course Terra Markov is like, okay, we're giving you enough time. You basically become very powerful people. Give him subordinates. And apparently he starts an organization known as the Order of the Dragon Fist. Yes, the Dragon Fist. So, become a little more rough, and then at one point, get this, they want to take Toddy's shop for reasons. Now, last time I checked, I highlighted a dojo. Excuse me a minute. That karate dojo has the authority to buy an actual, car shop. Yeah, I highly doubt that at all. And then basically, these students are acting like gangsters. So, Oki decides to beat them up. Oh, basically, he does defend himself, and of course, they go back, and then eventually, oh, you should join me. He's like, no, I want nothing to do with you. And then, of course, then he transforms. And you have a chance from the Kamen Rider Super 1. They fight, and him and his monster with his temporary voice actually loses. It was too easy. But he doesn't explode. And I'm like, really, Super 1? Are you that stupid you don't see these people explode? Because normally he leaves after the explosion, not before. I thought this was kind of weird. So we have the Dogma fighters check on him, and it turns out, oh, this was just a waste. And then we see the true form of him. And of course, he's like, wait, aren't you dead? It's like, nope. And he tries to fight him again. And then, of course, his master shows up. Yes, his master shows up. And, well, turns out he's losing his way, so he has to, flee. But when he learns, basically, this particular secret, this blossom, and when he comes back, this is, of course, for next episode, by the way, he comes back, and after he masters the move in cold weather, Yes, because apparently its white plumes only blossoms in cold weather. Also, Kanomi, she comes by him New Year stuff, but he doesn't want to tell her just until he beats the guy. Then eventually he does get the master move, and when he gets back to town, he is shocked to see what happened. Apparently, the Order of Dragon Fist has turned the whole town into basically a dictatorship. Where you see, oh yeah, really, there's true colors, where he just takes random people to basically dig the mud out of a river. Yes, even though that this can be done by professionals who don't do this no problem, and eventually he does take him on, and like, oh yeah, transform. Of course, he accused me of a monster, and it's like, oh, you lose, and of course he tries again, and he does beat him, and then eventually they battle the countryside, they transform, and then of course they battle for a while, and then of course Monster's defeated. As for what happened to the Order of Dragon Fist, presumably the dojo disbanded due to the death of his sensei. That's presumably what happened, but who knows? By the way, this is by far the second time I've seen this happen. Because if you notice, though, this is the second two-part where the monster becomes a karate master. Yes. And here's the thing. It'll have been 10 episodes since the last happened. Yeah, I'm not kidding about that. It's only been 10 episodes by the time this two-parter starts. And why is it that had to be a karate master? I thought that was kind of weird. But these are pretty good episodes, and I can't wait to discuss more episodes. I've roughly, by the way, in case you're curious, I have 10 more episodes to go before I stop to do a quick anime and then back to the series to finish out the remaining 25 episodes. But next up is going to be Kamen Corner, and after that will be Trigun Stampede. Okay, next video. Bye.